Okay, so what is SAP data services? Okay, so now we are not calling it as business objects data services. So we shall see in the coming slides why we should not call it as SAP business objects data services. Why it is only SAP data services. Okay, so before that we shall see what is data services basically. Okay, so basically data services is a data warehousing product. Okay, so it's a data warehousing product. Okay, so by hearing this word, like you should get a question like what type of data warehousing product is data services. Okay, so before seeing that what type of data warehousing product is SAP data services, we shall see what is data warehouse actually, and after that we shall conclude that what type of data warehousing product is SAP data services. Okay, so basically, as you know, as you're working with BW since a long time, so I think you have a good idea on data warehouse, right? So data warehouse is basically a centralized reporting system. Okay, see if you see the layman structure of data warehouse. Okay, so basically these are all operational systems. Okay, so from the operational systems, all the data move to a data warehouse. Okay, so here in the data warehouse, what will be done? All the historical data will be stored. Okay, so what is the use of this historical data? Generally for modeling the data targets, which will help for you for reports, basically summarized reports. Okay, so you can get graphical reports, summarized reports, and detailed reports. Okay, so here to store the historical data. Historical data is nothing but the data that would be from around more than 10 years to 15 years, right? So all the historical data will be stored in the warehouse. So warehouse is basically like storing all the stuff of inventory or anything. If you go for any infrastructure company or anything, right? So coming to our business, warehouse is nothing but it is the collection of data from different operational systems. Okay, so these operational systems might be any database, file system, SAP applications like ERP, CRM, SRM, and non-SAP applications like Oracle Apps, JDE, PeopleSoft, etc. Okay, so to get all these data from operational systems to this warehouse, okay, what we have to do, you have to extract the data from operational systems, you have to transform the data according to business users. Transforming is nothing but that might be performing different mappings, conversions, applying a lot of logics, data quality, performing data cleansing, and everything. So all the things come under extraction, transformation, okay, and then loading into your warehouse. Okay, so before loading into warehouse, you have to perform this ETL. Okay, so what we have to do, all the data should be, so ETL is nothing but extraction, transformation, and loading. Okay, so extracted, transform, and loading into warehouse. Okay, so here, so this ETL is nothing but, see here, ETL is nothing but extraction, transformation, and loading. Okay, so here, so extracting is nothing but extracting data from that operational systems are completely OLTP systems. Okay, so in these OLTP systems, you cannot load more than 1 year or 2 year data, and you cannot perform any business intelligence, or you cannot get any reports from OLTP systems. Okay, so that is, so due to that, to store or to do a good analysis and to get good reports, we need a warehouse. Okay, so for that, all the data from operational systems should be extracted and transformed and loaded into warehouse. Okay, So after performing this, here in the data warehouse, you'll have a business intelligence layer where we can analyze and make some decisions from the data, and also you can get the reports from that historical data. Okay, by modeling star schema or snowflake schema, so which are nothing but that might be info cubes, which are used to get summarized reports, graphical reports, data. Okay, you can get a lot of reports, advanced analysis and anything, depends on the levels of the business. Okay, this is completely business intelligence layer where you can perform reporting and also business intelligence, but you cannot perform on operational layers. So that is the use of a data warehouse. Okay, this is completely OLAP. Okay, so OLTP is nothing but online transaction processing systems. I think you have a good idea on these two, right?
Yeah.
So online. Okay. So I don't want to waste time on explaining all this because you have a good idea. You're already senior on these topics, right? So, okay. So here, by seeing this, layman structure, so what are the different activities performed in the data warehouse? Like you have to perform ETL, you have to perform modeling, and also you have to perform business intelligence or reporting. Okay. So from this, what is a data warehousing product? So a data warehousing product is a product which have any of the below functionality. Okay, so if it has a functionality of extracting, transforming, and loading, then that is called a data warehousing product. Or if it has the functionality of modeling, then that is also called as a data warehousing product. And if it has the functionality of business intelligence and reporting. Okay, so if a product has any of these three functionalities, then that product is called a data warehousing product. Okay, so from this what we can conclude, so what type of a data warehousing product is SAP BODS? SAP BODS is, or SAP Data Services is, data warehousing ETL product, because so primarily it has the functionality of extracting, transforming, and loading. Okay, so from this SAP Data Services is a data warehousing ETL product. Okay, it's clear right up to here?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically it's a data warehousing product, and what type of data warehousing product? It's a ETL type of data warehousing product. Okay, so to complete or to get a complete data warehousing solution, we need three products basically. Okay, so at most we have to contact with three vendors. Okay, so what are the three products? A product that might be to perform ETL, modeling, or business intelligence. Okay, so we need these three products, at most three products, to complete this or to get a complete data warehousing solution. Okay, so to get these three products, at most we have to contact with a single vendor, two vendors, or three vendors. Okay, so we shall see what are the different vendors who provide data warehousing products in the present market. Okay, so just see an overview. Okay, so Informatica is a company, okay, which provide Informatica product. So this is also a data warehousing product, and the primary functionality of this product is ETL, extracting, transforming, and loading. Okay, so if you go for IBM Data Stage is also a ETL product. IBM Cognos is also a reporting. Oracle Data Integrated. If you come to Oracle Data Integrated, it is a ETL product. Okay. Hyperion is a reporting tool. CA, Computer Associates Admin. Okay, so this tool is completely for modeling. Okay, this is data modeler. So if you go for Ab Initio, it is the ETL tool. SAP Business Objects Warehouse. If you come to SAP Business Objects Warehouse is Now we are completely using for modeling. Okay, so previously we would use for ETL modeling and reporting. I think you know this, right? So now we are completely using for modeling. Okay, so SAP Business Objects as the reporting tool, and SAP Data Services is ETL. So apart from this, we have around a lot of vendors who provide data warehousing product. So if you see for only ETL, you have around 28 vendors. That means you have 28 different ETL tools in the present market. Okay. So from this data services, now it is completely provided by SAP. So data services is SAP Data Warehousing ETL product. Okay. So it's clear, right? So there are different vendors. So from this, SAP Data Services is one of the data warehousing product which provides ETL functionality. Okay. So this is a small basic like what actually is data services. Okay. So from here the actual part starts. Okay. So we shall see what actually is data services. Okay. So what is the use of data services? Okay. So we shall see the definition of SAP Data Services first. Okay. So SAP Data Services, it delivers a single enterprise level software solution for data integration, data management, text data processing. Okay. So or simply we can say it as SAP Data Services is an end-to-end data integration, data management, and text data processing software or product. Okay, so this is actually actual definition of SAP Data Services. Okay, so it's an end-to-end data integration, data management, and text data processing software, or simply, if you go for technically, it delivers a single enterprise level software solution for data integration, data management, and text data processing. Okay, so from this, so what we can say, it is a data integration software, data management software, and also text data processing software. Okay, so now we shall see clearly what actually is data integration, what is data management, and what is text data processing. Okay, so do you have any idea on what is data integration or data management or text data processing, Josh?
Yeah, when you talk about data integration, basically bringing data from heterogeneous sources and integrating it into one. So that is the aspect of data integration.
Yeah, that's great. So what about data management and text data processing?
Data management basically is an aspect of the tool that manages the metadata and then provide the securities, who should have access, and the scheduling. So areas of managing the data.
Okay. Okay. So now we shall see clearly what actually these three activities or these three things. Okay. So first, what is a data integration? Okay. So data integration is nothing but, as I said, extracting data from heterogeneous sources and transforming it according to the business rules and loading into a single target or multiple targets. Okay. So here the sources might be any type of source. Okay. SAP Data Services accepts any type of source. Okay. So that might be any database. Okay. So you have a different databases in the present market. Okay. That might be Oracle, MS SQL Server, MySQL, DB2, HANA, etc. Okay. So and that also might be any file system. Okay. So that might be a flat file, Excel, XML, unstructured, and Hadoop. Okay. Unstructured is nothing but if the data is in the form of in unstructured files like in the form of a PDF, Word, or anything. Okay, so even that type of file systems also can be extracted using data services. Okay, and then coming to SAP applications. Okay, so that might be any SAP application. Okay, previously SAP data services still 3.x, it would support only ERP and BW. Now it is supporting CRM and SRM. Okay, and also non-SAP applications. Okay, so the source might be any non-SAP application like Oracle Labs, JDE, PeopleSoft, etc. And also you can extract data from any web services. Okay, so that is completely online data, like you can get from any web link or any external systems using APIs. Okay, so extracting data from all these heterogeneous systems and transforming the data. Okay, so what is data integration? Okay, so it simply we can call it as extracting data from heterogeneous systems. Okay, transforming data and loading data into multiple or single targets. Okay, so here extracting from heterogeneous systems is nothing but we can extract from different source systems. Okay, and coming to transforming. Okay, so in transforming data you have various activities. Okay, so that might be mapping the data. Okay, mapping is nothing but that might be one-to-one mapping, many-to-one mapping. Okay, one-to-one, one-to-many mappings. Okay, and conversions. Okay, and also applying logics according to business rules. Okay, and also data quality and like applying cleansing and everything. All the things comes under also transforming the data. Okay, so here conversions are nothing but converting the data from one standard format to another standard format, because see each and every system will have the data in their standard format. For example, if you are loading data from any Oracle to SAP, okay, so here SAP ERP will have the data in their standard format. Okay, so you cannot load the data, non-SAP data directly to SAP. So you have to convert all the data to their SAP standard format. Okay, so those are all things also should be performed in the transformation. Okay, so here you will also apply a lot of logics according to the business rules. Okay, so all this comes under transforming the data and then loading the data to a single target or multiple targets. Okay, so here again you can have various type of systems as targets. Okay, that might be any database, any file system, SAP applications or non-SAP applications, or even web services could be also as a target. Okay, so this activity like extraction, transforming and loading is called data integration. Okay, it's clear, right? What is data integration, George?
Yeah. Yes.
So it's yeah, I've said what is it, right? Right?
Yes.
So now we shall see what is data management actually. Okay, so data management we can also call it as data quality. Okay, so what you said was right, but here the data management is completely different. Okay, so data management software or data management or data quality product is a product which has the capability of cleansing or cleaning the master data. Okay, so data quality is nothing but so capability of cleaning the master data. Okay, so only master data. Okay, I think you know what is master data and what is transactional data. Okay, basically you'll have two types of data, master data and transactional data. So master data is the data which will be constant for particular period of time, like which will be not changing frequently. Okay, so transactional data is nothing but daily transactions. If you go for a good example is bank. Okay, so the daily transactions which we do is comes under transactional data, and the master data is our details like customer details and everything. All that things comes under master data. Okay, so cleansing is completely should be performed on master data. Okay, so basically if the master data is cleansed automatically, the transactions will be correct, like all the cleansed transactions will be performed. Okay, so here cleansing the master data is nothing but data quality or data management. Okay, so here to perform this data cleansing, you have to do a lot of activities. Okay, so there are a lot of activities to be performed in data cleansing. Okay, so what are they? So they are data passing, data standardization, data correction, data enhancement, data matching, and data consolidation. Okay, so do you have any idea of these 5 things? What is data passing, what is data standardization, what is data correction, what is data enhancement, data matching, and data consolidation? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, some of them. I do have an idea about some of them, if not all of them.
So let's see this. Okay, so in data cleansing, so all these activities will be performed. Okay, so first one is data passing. Okay, so data passing is nothing but splitting the data into entities or splitting one column into multiple columns. Okay, simply we can say. So the best example for this is full name to
First name and last name.
first name, last name, and middle. Okay, the data passing is nothing but, for example, from the source system, the data might be coming like the person name or everything will be in only one column. But client says, I want the name should be split into first name, last name, and middle name to my target system. Okay, then you have to perform data cleansing here. Like data passing should be done where the full name should be split into first name, last name, and middle name. Okay, so one more best example is address. Okay, so contact address. So the address might be, full address might be in single column. Okay, the client says, I want, okay, street number in separate column. I want country in separate column. So going there, let's see, read city, region, country, and postcode. Okay, so these single contact address field should be passed into street number, city, region, country, and postcode. Okay, so this is the best example of data passing. Like simply we are splitting single column into multiple columns according to the requirement of the business user. Okay, so is it clear what is data passing? Okay, so second one is data standardization. Okay, so what is data standardization? Okay, so basically we are converting the master data into standard formats. Okay, clear? So here each and every country will have master data in their standard format. Okay, for example, if you go for email ID, okay, person name, postcode, okay, etc. All these will be in their own standard format. Okay, mobile number. Okay, so each and every country will have their own master data in a particular standard format. Okay, so if the data is not in a standard format from a source system, you have to convert that into a standard format according to the country, and then should be loaded to the target system. Okay, so that comes under into data standardization. And next, what is third one? It's data correction. Okay, so from the correction word itself, I think you can get a clear idea on that. Okay, so what is data correction? Simply correcting the wrong data. Okay, so basically here the data might be bad data or junk data, like the spellings of the name should be wrong, might be wrong, the address might be wrong. Okay, so here, but to the target side we have to send correct data. Okay, so here for example you have given all the address correctly, but the postcode which you have entered was wrong. Okay, but client says I have to get the correct address of each and every client or customer to my target system. Then you have to perform data correction there. Is it clear? Okay, it's a simple thing. And next, data enhancement. Okay, so data enhancement is nothing but adding missing data or extra data. Okay, so here nothing but, so enhancements are nothing but we are adding some missing data. Okay, for example, if you have gone to a store and you have given only half of your address, but the client says I want complete address of each and every customer in my target system, then you have to add all these extra data to your, like all the missing data to your source data. Okay, so that is nothing but data enhancement. And what is data consolidation? Okay, so data consolidation is nothing but performing all these activities and getting or combining into a single data is called data consolidation. Okay, so combining all the above activities into single cleansed data is called data consolidation. Okay, so this is completely data management. Okay, so data management is nothing but performing data parsing, data standardization, data correction, data enhancement, and data matching. Okay, so these all things will be performed at transformation level. Okay, so at the transformation level, all these data cleansing activities will be performed. Okay, so next thing is text data processing. Okay, so what is text data processing? Okay, so text data processing is the new functionality or new thing added to SAP data services from 4.x version. Okay, till 3.x we have only data integration and data management functionalities with SAP Business Objects Data Services. From 4.x, SAP has added a new functionality to text data processing with text data processing. Okay, this is also called as entity extraction. Okay, so text data processing is nothing but simply it's converting unstructured data to structured data. Okay, so unstructured data to structured data is nothing but converting into entities and facts. Okay, see here, now in the present market, all the data is coming in the form of unstructured, right? So if you go for Twitter, KFC, McDonald's, each and everything, all the data for these businesses are completely unstructured data. Okay, so to get a good report, you have to convert all this unstructured data to structured data. Okay, so this conversion is possible with the help of text data processing or entity extraction. Okay, so it's nothing but simply extracting entities and facts from paragraphs, sentences, or clauses. Okay, so this is called text data processing. Okay, so to perform this text data processing, you require dictionary files and rule files. Okay, so we shall see what is dictionary file and rule file while going with text data processing completely. Okay, so you'll get a clear idea on why we have to use dictionary files and why we have to use rule files while implementing text data processing in the coming classes. Okay. So it is basically dictionary file is used to find the type of entity. Okay. So what type of entity is that? So for example, in the paragraph, if George is there, it will give the entity type as person name. Okay. So if you have given any office address, it will give as the entity type as office address. Okay. And coming to rule files, so these rule files are completely used for sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis are basically, it gives the emotion of that particular sentence or paragraph. Okay. So what is the use of, like, what is the description of the paragraph? Is it a company acquisition? Is it a company release? Or is it a feedback of a person given to a product? Okay. And it also gives the emotion of each and every word used in that particular sentence or particular paragraph. For example, if you have used good or average in that particular sentence, it gives the result as it's a negative feedback or it's a positive feedback. Okay. So to provide that emotions or sentiments, you have to use rule files. And to find the correct type of entity, you have to use dictionary files. Okay. So with the help of these two backend or background files, the text data processing is performed very effectively with SAP data services. Okay. So text data processing is simply converting unstructured data to structured data. Okay. So here, so from this you are clear, right? So what is SAP data services? So SAP data services is a data integration software, data management software, and text data processing software. Nothing but it can perform ETL, it can perform data quality, and also it can perform entity extraction. Okay. So basically, if you see in the market, they'll say only it's a ETL tool. Okay. So previously we would call ETL as data integrator or data integration product. Okay. So not only ETL, it can also perform data quality, and also it can also perform text data processing basically. Okay. So apart from this, you can do lot of things with SAP data services. Okay. So other features of SAP data services are, so mainly what are the features? You can perform data integration, data quality, and text data processing. Okay. So apart from this, you can also perform profiling. Okay. So profiling is nothing but data profiling. Do you have any idea on data profiling, Josh?
Data profiling. Yeah, but not quite. Yeah, if you can just go over it.
Sure. So data profiling is nothing but, so it's basically one of the activities of data assessment. Okay. So data assessment. Okay. So data profiling is the activity of data assessment. Okay. So data assessment is nothing but measuring and analyzing the data. Okay. So measuring and analyzing the data. So nothing but, see, in any project, the first phase will be data assessment. Okay. So data assessment is nothing but measuring and analyzing the data. So what is the use of measuring and analyzing the data? So basically, it is used to find the bad data and junk data. Okay. So here, the data analyzing is mainly used to perform the nulls or null percentage present in your data, okay, or blank percentage present in your data, or zeros present in your source data. So if the source data has null data, blank data, or zero data, so that is completely it's a data which is not in a good quality. So we have to find how much bad is your source data. So how much null percent is there, blank percent is there, and 0% is there. So to do that, you have to perform data profiling. Like simply to get or to find the bad data or junk data, you have to perform data profiling. Okay, so you can also perform data profiling with the help of data services. Okay, so what is the use of data measuring? Is nothing but it is finding the matrix of the data. Okay, so finding the matrix is nothing but finding minimum maximum values. Okay, fine. Average values of the data. Okay, median values, pattern of the data. Okay, so these all things will be coming under data measuring. Nothing but you are finding the metrics. Metrics are nothing but measures of the data, like what is the size of the data, what is the minimum value present in that source data for each and every column, what is the maximum value, what is the average value. Okay, so these all things comes under data measurement. Okay, so by performing data performing data profiling or data assessment, you can find how much clean your data is. Okay, so if the data is around 70 to 80% clean, you no need to perform data quality. You can directly jump into data integration. If the data is not clean, compulsory you have to perform data quality like data cleansing, and then you have to jump into the actual part, data integration. Okay, so this data profiling is compulsory for each and every project. Okay, so the first phase of each and every project will be data assessment, like analyzing how much data is correct, like how clean is your source data. Okay, so that is data profiling. So coming to SAP BODS, so data profiling performed by SAP BODS is only 25% of actual profiling. Okay, so nothing but you can perform just basic profiling. Okay, so only basic profiling, like only basic metrics can be found with the help of data services. Okay, to get 100% profiling or to perform 100% profiling, you have to go with SAP information steward. Okay, so that is called data profiling. So SAP information steward is used for performing data profiling now. Okay, so basically for basic metrics like to find how much nulls are there, how much zeros are there, you have to perform, or like you can directly go with SAP data services. Okay, so and also you can perform reporting using SAP BODS. Okay, so here I think you know reporting, right? So you can perform only basic reporting. Okay, so basic reporting is nothing but to view and analyze the system statistics, like BODS system statistics and also job statistics. Okay, so system statistics and job statistics can be like the reports of the system statistics and job statistics can be directly seen in BODS. Okay, nothing but how many jobs are executed per a day or week. Okay, so what is the result? So how many are succeeded, how many are failed? So that you can see using BODS. Or job statistics, like is the job succeeded correctly, or how much data is correct, like how much data is passed and how much data is failed. So these things can be seen in data reporting using SAP data services. Okay, so these are the other features of BODS apart: data integration, data quality, and text data processing. Okay, so SAP data services, it is not only ATL tool, you can perform data quality, TDP, text data processing, data profiling, and also reporting. Okay, is it clear up to here? And
Yeah.
there are a lot of activities other than ETL. So these things we can see in the coming classes.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I ask a question at this time?
Yeah, sure.
What about for data migration?
Yes. So I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. So these are the basic features of SAP data services. Okay. So if your source is present here, and if you have to load the data to a target system, there are a lot of activities can be performed by data services. Okay, what are that? Data integration, data quality, text data processing, and here comes data migration. Okay, so this is the main asset of data services. Okay, so data migration is nothing but loading data from any legacy system to your SAP ECC system. Okay, nothing but SAP ERP. Okay, so data services is the only tool which can perform a perfect data migration in very less time, because SAP has provided best practices, nothing but which are all-in-one jobs, which are predefined jobs provided by SAP, which you can use for any business. Okay, so to perform a perfect data migration, only BODS is the ETL. Okay, so data migration is nothing but loading data into SAP ECC from any legacy system. Okay, so data migration also can be done with SAP data services. Okay, so in the coming classes, like I'll be showing how data migration is completely done with a project scenario, like how the data migration will be done, what are the different phases present in the data migration, okay, what are the activities will be done. So these all things will be shown in the coming classes. Okay, so we have a complete 3 to 4 sessions for data migration. Okay, so data migration is the main asset of data services. Okay, so we can also call data migration is the only, data services is the only data migration. Okay, previously we would use LSNW and BDC, which are completely used by SAP Abacus. Okay, those are completely programming and some steps you have to follow. But here, using SAP BODS, it's completely graphical user interface. Here you will have all the predefined jobs. Using that predefined jobs, you can simply load the data from any legacy system to SAP ECC in around 6 to 8 months. Basically, if you go for LSNW and BDC, it will take around 1 year or 2 years time to load data from legacy systems to SAP ECC system. Okay, so here in our SAP terms, as you know, data migration is nothing but loading data from any legacy system to SAP ERP. Okay, is it clear, right?
Yeah.
So like we have complete 3 to 4 sessions for complete data migration. Okay, so I'll be showing complete how the project scenario will be for data migration, because around 70% of SAP BODS projects, all the projects are data migration projects. Okay, so I'll be showing how the data migration will be done in real time completely. Okay, and next you can also perform data modeling and data governance. Okay, so there are a lot of things you can do with SAP BODS. Not only ETL, you can perform a lot of things. Okay. So still we are at definition of SAP data service. So is it clear what is data services now?
Yeah.
So these are the other features, as I said now, okay, profiling and reporting. So apart that, you can perform data migration, data warehousing, like data modeling and app. Okay. So now we shall see what is the history of data services. Okay. So data services is not a new tool. Actually, it's a 15 years old product. Okay. So basically, for each and every company, you'll have an intention. Like if you go for IBM, what is the intention of them is they have to provide a good hardware. If you go for Microsoft, their intention was to provide a good operating system. Similarly, there was a company around 15 years back called Actor Technologies Incorporation, okay, which was located in California and US. Okay, so their intention was to provide a good real-time data integration and data management. Okay, so further they have introduced two products or tools called data integrator tool and data management tool or data quality tool. Okay, so this data integrator tool was also known as ActaWorks. Okay, so in 2002, what happened is Business Objects, it's a French company which are completely into business intelligence. Okay, so they have acquired around 15 companies in 2000. Okay, among that 15 companies, Actor Technologies Incorporation was one company. Okay, so the business objects thought not only business intelligence, they thought of providing data integration and data management. Okay, so further what they have done is they have acquired Actor Technologies Incorporation in 2000, and they rebranded these two tools as Business Objects Data Integrator and Business Objects Data Quality. Okay, and then as you know, in 2007, SAP acquired Business Objects. Okay, and then renamed the tools as SAP Business Objects Data Integrator and SAP Business Objects Data Quality. Okay, I think you have learned about Business Objects Data Integrator when it was with Business Objects, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So after that, SAP acquired Business Objects and then it rebranded the tools as SAP Business Objects Data Integrator and SAP Business Objects Data Quality. Okay, so that is around 2007. And in 2008, they thought of combining these two products in as a single product, and they have released a new product called as SAP Business Objects Data Services. Okay, so it is SAP BODS from 2008 and 2009. Okay, so then what happened in 2002, Business Objects has completely moved out from data services. Like the contract with Business Objects is finished and SAP, like data services, has completely become SAP Store. Okay, so whole rights on data services is completely from SAP. Okay, so from 2013, now we are calling it as SAP Data Services. It's not SAP Business Objects Data Services. Okay, so this is how data services has come. Okay, it has come from Actor Technologies. Okay, so the versions provided by Actor Technologies were, for data integrator, they provided DI 1.x, 2.x till 6.x. Okay, so for DQ it was 1.x, 2.x till 6.x. So after Business Objects acquired Actor Technologies, they have released the versions BODA XI R1, BODA XI R2, BODQ XI R1, and BODQ XI R2. So nothing but these are also called as DA 11.x 11.x R1 and 11.x R2. Okay, you would call this as DA 11.x also. So after SAP acquired, the versions were SAP BODA 3.x, SAP BODQ 3.x. Okay, so these are also called as SAP BODI 12.x, SAP BODQ 12.x. Okay, so from 3.2 version, the product has released as like these two products has become one product as SAP BODS 3.2. Okay, and then it was 4.x version. Okay, after 3.x, SAP released SAP 4.x. Okay, so 4.0 and 4.1, and now after 2013 is SAP BODS 4.2. The current version is SAP BODS 4.2. The service pack is SP3. Okay, so we are dealing with SAP 4.1 SP2. Okay, so give me a second, please. Hello. చెప్పండి.
Okay.
కాల్ చేసి చెప్తాను.
Hello?
Okay. Sorry for that one. Okay, so this is the complete history of data services. Okay, so it's not a new product, as you know, so it's around 15 years old product. Okay, so now we are calling it as completely SAP data services, and the current version in the market is SAP data services 4.2 SP.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So it was recently released 3 to 4 months back. Okay, so here we'll be dealing completely with SAP BODS 4.1, SP1 or SP2. Okay, so fine, it's clear the history of BODS.
Yeah, that's good. So is there a difference between 4.1 and 4.2?
Yeah, the difference was completely made like if you go for 3.x and 4.x, basically the difference was completely on security side, like maintaining users and rights for the users, like maintaining user security and rights was different. Coming to designing part, each and everything is same. Okay, so only 1 or 2 transformations, like from 4.1 and 4.2 there is no much difference. There was a small difference in the transformation levels, like giving more filterings options to transformations. That's it, not more than that. If you learn 4.1, you can easily work with 4.2. There is no much difference. They have given some added advantages to the transformations, like filtering, providing where conditions, providing extra group by options and everything. Okay, so actually this was done, like these filterings and group by was done separately by a different transformation till 4.1. From 4.2 they have inbuilt this group by and filtering options for each and every transformation. Only that is the difference. Okay, and they have some small added advantages to each and every transformation. But there is a huge difference from 3.x and 4.x. Okay,
Yes,
the architecture was completely changed from 3.x to 4.x. Okay.
Okay.
So, is it clear?
Yeah.
So now we shall see why we have to go with SAP data services. Like what are the advantages of SAP data services over other ETL tools? Okay. So the first advantage of SAP data services is it's SAP product, right? So firstly, it is an SAP product. As SAP has acquired 70% of world's market, so compulsory SAP data services should be used as for each and every project. Okay, almost around 70% of the projects or market should be using this SAP data services because it's SAP product. So SAP will not, like, see, any vendor who is going with SAP, they will not go with another vendor for ETL product. They will compulsorily go with SAP because SAP is completely or tightly integrated with each and every database, and SAP BODS is tightly integrated with SAP ECC or SAP BW. Okay, so that's why SAP is data warehouse is mostly used in the coming years because it's a SAP product. Okay, this is the first point we have to remember. Okay, so and the most important advantage is from single product you are getting 3 solutions. Okay, so that is data integration, data quality, and text data processing. Okay, so if you go for other ETL tools, you might get only data integrated or data quality, or both data integrated, data quality. But you will not get all these three functionalities from single product. Okay, so this is the main advantage. From one single product, you are getting three solutions. Okay, so SAP data services can move, unlock, and govern enterprise data very effectively. Okay, so nothing but it can move is nothing but it can transform data from any system to other systems or any legacy system to SAP system. Okay, very effectively. Okay, so unlock is nothing but you are unlocking the data, nothing but converting the unstructured data to structured data. Okay, so SAP data services can perform very effectively this activity, and also governing the enterprise data. Governing is nothing but performing all the data assessment and data quality activities comes under governing. Okay, so SAP data services can move, unlock, and govern enterprise data very effectively than any other ETL. Okay, so coming to the other advantage, it is very cost-effective single window application, and it's very easy to use graphical user interface. Okay, so it's very cost-effective than any other ETL. Okay, so it can deliver any solution very cost-effective. Okay, so it takes very less cost to work with data services than other ETL. If you compare with as SAP guys, if you compare with SAP BW and SAP BODS ETL tool, so BODS is very cost effective, and it's simply very easy to use graphical user interface. Okay, so from single window you can perform all the activities, and that window is completely graphical user interface window. Okay, so actually I would like to show that designer interface, but actually I could not log in because I could not get the username and password for the designer login. Okay, so in the first class, like I'll be showing the architecture, and I'll be showing how the each and every component of that architecture will be working, and I'll be showing with the screens. Okay, so coming to technically, so with SAP data services you can perform easy data migration and data modeling. Okay, as you know, SAP data services, we can also call it as data migration tool. Okay, so data migration is completely become a very easy activity when SAP data services has come. Okay, so coming to multi-user environment. Okay, so it's completely secure. Okay, so SAP data services is having very secure multi-user environment. Nothing but sharing the codes between different systems in the landscape, or sharing the codes between different users in the landscape. Okay, that should be completely secure. Okay, so each and every user should not have access to each and every code. Okay, so using central repository concept, you'll have a secured multi-user environment with the help of SAP data services. Okay, and this is completely single window code migration throughout landscape. Okay, so to migrate the code between different systems in the landscape, you can perform only through single window. Okay, so no need to log into different systems to migrate the code. Okay, so I'll be explaining how the code migration is done. Okay, completely in the coming classes. Okay, there you will get a clear idea on how easily code migration can be done with SAP data services, because code migration is the main part in each and every real-time project. Okay, so this has done, or this can be done very easily with the help of SAP data services than any other tools. Okay, so and also this activity is less known by many of the SAP BODS developers. Okay, and as the main advantage is SAP data services has inbuilt ELT function. Okay, so ELT is nothing but extracting the data, loading the data to the database system, and then performing the transformations. So because of this, what happens, the performance will be improved. The time taken to perform extracting and loading will be very less. Okay, so I'll be explaining this ELT concept also in the coming classes. Okay, this is inbuilt, like, So ELT is nothing but so making to perform the operations by the background database itself. Okay, so that is called ELT. So I'll be explaining how the ELT and ETL will be performed using SAP data services in the coming classes. Okay, so and there are a lot of other advantages. Okay, so these are the main advantages. Okay, so you can perform easy data migration. It has secure multi-user environment, and it's a single window code migration you can perform throughout the landscape in any system. Okay, and it supports both ELT and ETL very effectively. Okay, so these are all the advantages of SAP data service. Clear?
Yeah.
Any questions, George, on this?
No question on this. On that.
Okay. So coming to the last topic, what is the scope of data services in the coming future? Okay. So we shall see like how the future is for SAP data services. Okay. So basically using SAP data services, we'll be performing only two types of projects, data migration projects and data warehousing projects. Okay. So for data migration projects, nothing but loading data to SAP ECC from any legacy systems, right? So only SAP data services is the tool which supports a very effective way of data migration. Okay. So because it's a very effective and easy way. So completely GUI based data migration. Okay. Here SAP has provided best practices to perform data migration very easily. Okay. So after SAP has acquired data services, 70% of projects, data migration projects has increased in the present market because it made very easy for data migration. Okay. So here best practices is nothing but SAP has already designed jobs to perform data migration. Jobs are nothing but code. Okay. So these codes can be used by any business to perform data migration. The simple thing you have to do is simply change the source systems, change the target systems, and apply the transformation logics according to the business rules provided by the client and move the data. So because of this, what happens is the design time is completely decreased. Basically in the project, you'll have the design time is more, right? It takes around 6 to 7 months to completely design the code for project. Okay, this design time is completely reduced. So due to that, the project which can be done in around 1 year to 2 years can be cut down to 6 to 8 months. So the data migration completely can be done to 6 to 8 months. So because of this, what happens, that is a great advantage to the client also, because there is no need to maintain the delta data, nothing but the daily data for long period of time. Okay, right? So coming to data modeling, we'll go with SAP BW and SAP HANA. Okay, so after from SAP BW 7.3 version, what happened is a direct integration has made for SAP data services. Okay, so as you know, you have worked with BW, you will have source systems, right, to connect with external systems, right? So data services source system as provided to SAP BW from 7.3 system. Nothing but you can directly integrate with data services. Before 7.3, we would use external systems to connect as like external system type source system to connect with SAP BODS. Okay, so due to this type direct integration with SAP BW and SAP BODS, so there is no need to use ETL tool present in this SAP BW. Okay, so because with the help of ETL tool in SAP BW, you cannot perform complex mappings and complex logics, right? So now that ETL tool in SAP BW is completely replaced by SAP BODS. So in any SAP BW project, SAP BODS is compulsory. Okay, so that's why even in SAP BW projects also, SAP BODS is using or has to be used in the coming future. Okay, and coming to SAP HANA project. Okay, so SAP HANA, like extracting data from SAP HANA and loading data to SAP HANA. So this is completely done with the help of three tools actually, SLT and DXE and SAP BODS. Okay, so SAP BODS is compulsory for each and every SAP HANA project because loading data to SAP HANA can be easily done by SAP BODS. Okay, so in the coming future, like in the coming years, only SAP BODS will be used to load data to SAP HANA completely. Okay, so this is the scope of SAP datasets. Okay, even in SAP data migration projects, SAP BW projects or SAP HANA projects, SAP data services is compulsory. Okay, so it's clear?
Yeah.
Like, so this is complete demonstration of SAP data services. Okay, so from the actual regular classes, I'll be completely entering into technical part. Okay, this is completely theory, like what is data services, okay, what is the definition and what is the history, okay, so everything. So in the regular classes, I'll be starting what is the component architecture, what is the different components installed with data services, what is the use of each and every component. So I'll be explaining technical. So after that, we'll be entering into the implementation where we'll be working with each and every transformation with real-time examples. Okay. So here the track will be two ways. Like we'll be working with non-SAP data, you'll be working with SAP data. Okay. So in the non-SAP data, you'll be completely working with all the transformations. Okay. So here we'll be completely working with only data integrated and text data processing transformation. Okay. So data quality is a separate course. Okay. So I'm coming to SAP. So how to extract and load working with SAP BW and SAP ECC. Okay. So this is completely SAP part. Okay. So here you'll have non-SAP part and SAP part. Okay. Clear?
Mm. Okay. Yeah. So do you so you're done, right?
Sorry?
Yes. So are we going to have a course outline? Do you have a course outline?